This is the Apple Watch Series 8. Or is it the Series 7? Yes, while last year I argued that the Series 7 was a much better update than people gave it credit for, this year the Series 8 has a lot to answer for, because even in the age of smaller and smaller phone upgrades, this year's Apple Watch may prove that it's more of an iPod than an iPhone. Alright, so what is the Apple Watch Series 8? Well, it's a very, very similar watch to last year's Apple Watch Series 7. It has the same design with the larger display that now supports a full QWERTY keyboard. It has the faster fast charging of last year's Series 7. It has the same always-on display, the same display brightness, the same performance, the same electrocardiogram reader, the same heart rate monitor, the same blood oxygen sensor. Yeah, I think you get the point. This watch, from design to the internals, it is practically virtually the same as last year's Series 7. In fact, the Series 8 even loses some things that the Series 7 had last year. It comes in less color finishes on the aluminum model, it dropped the, I think, very nice blue and strikingly good green color, and it lost the Edition model for the first time. So no more titanium material on the regular Apple Watch. If you want to get titanium, you now have to step up to the Apple Watch Ultra. Granted, I do think that is a much better product decision choice. So you may be scratching your head at this point, wondering, what exactly is new with the Apple Watch Series 8? Well, to be fair, there are two new features that have to do with the internal sensors in the Series 8. The first one is a body temperature sensor, which could potentially be a big deal. Well, for half of the population, that is. That's because the body temperature in the Series 8 isn't what you traditionally think it would be used for. It's not for measuring temperature on your wrist and then seeing if you have a high body temperature, like if you're running a fever. No, it's for measuring body temperature mostly to help with women's health cycles and ovulation tracking. And to make it even more convoluted, the Apple Watch temperature sensor isn't something you can manually trigger. It's not a measurement you can take at any point in the day. The wrist temperature sensor works by automatically measuring your body temperature when you're sleeping, and it can start offering insights into cycle tracking after 5 days of sleeping. Apple says it does this so it can properly measure the wrist temperature, and then Apple's algorithms can parse that data out to accurately measure internal body temperature. It also measures your sleep as well, so it can give you accurate sleep times and how long you've been in certain sleep cycles like core, deep sleep, or REM sleep. However, any Apple Watch can do that in the current lineup. Even the older Apple Watch Series 4 can do that thanks to a new watchOS 9 update. And even the low-price Apple Watch SE supports sleep tracking. However, those older watches and that lower-end SE do not have a body temperature sensor. Now, there's also a problem with both of these features from a user experience perspective. First of all, tying body temperature to sleep tracking means you have to wear your watch to sleep every single night, and some users just aren't interested in wearing a watch while they sleep or getting sleep tracking stats. The Apple Watch battery lasts for about a day, and most users charge it at night when they go to sleep. Granted, I've done sleep tracking with this Apple Watch Series 8, and while it works, it does require a change in your routine. So instead of charging it at night, you're going to likely need to wake up and then charge your watch in the morning as you get ready for the day. Thankfully, the Series 8 does fast charge. You can get up to 80% charge in just about 45 minutes of charging, which is probably the amount of time it takes you to shower, eat breakfast, and change your clothes in the morning. Again, it's not impossible to do this. You can definitely do it, but it does require a change in how you maybe charge your Apple Watch if you're willing to make that change. Secondly, this is a feature I cannot reliably review because I don't ovulate. I don't have a cycle. But I do recognize that for half of the population, this could potentially be a great feature, and it actually could warrant an upgrade over your existing Apple Watch model. As a reviewer though, I can only give you my personal experience, and right now the feature is not something I can really review. Now, what I can say is that even though Apple doesn't really tout this, anyone can measure their wrist temperature if you wear it for sleep tracking. You do have to go to the health app on your iPhone, and then you have to go to the wrist temperature sensor settings, and if you look at the data, you can actually see your wrist and body temperature in this settings area. So yeah, I guess you can record your body temperature as long as you're wearing your watch to sleep, but that really doesn't seem helpful to me as a feature right now, considering you can just buy a body temperature reader for like $20. So why would you buy a new Apple Watch Series 8 just for that feature? It's much easier to buy just a separate body temperature sensor and then take your temperature whenever you want and not tie it just to when you're sleeping. The other potentially life-saving feature is car crash detection. The Apple Watch and the latest iPhone 14 models have a new sensor and a gyroscope in them that potentially can automatically dial emergency services when you're in a severe car crash. Now, it's kind of weird to suggest buying a product for a potentially life-saving feature. Like, you hope you would never need to use that feature. But I suspect that car crash detection could be just as life-saving of a feature as fall detection has already proven to be, especially given just how many automobile accidents happen every single year. But I don't think anyone is rushing out to buy a Series 8 just for car crash detection. It's more like a bonus feature. So yeah, with the Apple Watch Series 8, that's really all that's new. And it's not much. You don't have to be a reviewer to notice that. It's not a big upgrade. This is, without a doubt, the smallest Apple Watch upgrade ever. And for the daily use of using the Series 8, it's exactly the same experience as using my Apple Watch Series 7. And most of the upgrades to the Series 8, like the sleep tracking feature or the new low power mode, which can extend the battery life up to 36 hours, those are great features, but those are software update features on watchOS 9, and they can be used on older Apple Watches all the way back to the Series 4. So if you're a Series 4 user that wasn't tempted by the upgrades of the Series 5, the Series 6, or the Series 7, then 4 iterations later, don't be fooled. The Series 8 is not gonna win you over. You're not gonna wanna upgrade after watching this video. And that means for most users, you're waiting another year until you get what hopefully will be a more substantial upgrade. And I think that's kind of the expectation we need to set going forward. I think this is the norm for the Apple Watch updates now. Small updates year over year that won't result in a huge upgrade. It's kind of like the iPod. Apple had a bunch of iPods in different sizes and colors. You had small iPods, medium iPods, big iPods, iPods that could only shuffle music. There were a lot of different iPod models out there. But you just bought an iPod, and you didn't need to buy a new iPod every year. The iPods mostly played music, and maybe some played video or something like that, but the main feature was playing music, did that every single generation. And that's kind of been the story of the Apple Watch since the Series 4. The Series 4 is kind of when the Apple Watch peaked, and if you bought a Series 4 and have kept it for a long time, I know a lot of users who have done that, you made a smart decision, because the Apple Watches since then have kind of kept the same general philosophy. They get notifications, they track activity, they can play music, you can get alerts on your Apple Watch, and they also give you important insights to health, as among a bunch of other things as well. But yeah, they're all great and they all kind of do the same thing, some a little more than others, but the general user experience has mostly been the same since the Series 4. The Series 4 user experience is about the same on the Series 8 as well. I think the Series 7 is obviously the least exciting Apple Watch this year, and as a Series 7 owner, it's something I personally would not upgrade to, and that's coming from someone who has found a reason to upgrade from every single Apple Watch since the original every single year. If the Ultra did not exist, I would not wear a Series 8 over a Series 7. However, that doesn't mean the Series 8 isn't worth it. Sure, the cheaper Apple Watch SE is a good value, and all the attention is around the more exciting Apple Watch Ultra this year, but the Series 8, honestly, is still the best balanced Apple Watch for features and price. Well, unless of course you can find an Apple Watch Series 7, which as of the making of this video, they are still readily available at lower prices than the Series 8, so if you can't take advantage of that body temperature sensor, then you should probably just buy the Apple Watch Series 7 at a lower price point. But hey, I can't make that recommendation forever. Eventually, the Apple Watch Series 7 should sell out. So if you need an Apple Watch Series 8, well, you still, that's still the default option. And that's kind of it, right? Like, if you need a new Apple Watch, or if you're a first-time buyer, well, this actually still may be the best choice, even if it isn't an exciting year-over-year upgrade, or even an exciting year-over-year upgrade. But if you need a new Apple Watch or you're a new owner, you kind of don't care about that. You kind of just want the best smart tracking watch available. If you own an iPhone, that's probably an Apple Watch. And the Series 8, as much as I don't want to say it because I'm personally not excited for it, it's still a good watch, even if it's not for me. All right, and that is my review of the Apple Watch Series 8. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor and hit the like button on your way out. And if you really liked it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And yeah, if you subscribe to the next channel, I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, everyone.